2. Hello. You can count on me and that good old Rob to talk you through all this.
I am sorry the World Cup takes priority, but I still love you all, and Rob, you are my favorite mustached man who happens to also be Canadian and a former and upcoming music career and is also a communist.
Thank you very much, Marty. Love you too, pal. Thanks for the 20 months resub at tier 2 and for all the support, everything you do for the community. Been streaming the World Cup in the Discord server, which has been very fun. I don't have a way. I mean, no, it hasn't. No one's been streaming the Discords. No one's been streaming anything in the Discord server. Not anything, any copyrighted material or anything like that. But I have been watching the World Cup legally alongside other members of this community at the same time and texting about it while it's been happening, and that's been very fun. We've been texting in the Discord while watching the sports independently, legally, of course, is what I meant. But that's been very enjoyable. That's been very, very enjoyable. Thank you also to Dimitri, by the way. Thank you, Dimitri, for the 5 months of tier 1 and for all the support. That was quite a game. We respect Canadian broadcasting laws over here. Yes, we do. Obviously, I'm watching the games through my official TSN subscription. So thank you again to Dimitri as well for all the support. And yeah, it was quite a game this morning. It was enjoyable. So I don't know who to usually, like, you know, it's a no-brainer to cheer for like the underdogs. Really, when it comes to Japan and Germany, those two troubling histories there, to say the least. It was still enjoyable to see Japan win and kind of have the shocking win and everything like that, but it's not like one of these like Netherlands versus Senegal matches or something where it's very clear who the good guys and bad guys are. You know, that's been cool. That was fun. I am looking forward to the Canada game today. It's at 2. I may have to cut off the stream earlier because I do want to watch it, actually. And I talked on the podcast this week, on the Insurgents podcast, about my kind of trepidations about getting pulled into nationalistic tendencies during this time. And our guest Tom from Stray from the Path really did kind of help set my mind at ease about this. Where we don't need to be nationalistic about supporting whatever team in the World Cup, but it's like with Canada, you're cheering for the players. There are a bunch of players that happen to be born in the same place. That's all. That's what makes them a team. They're kind of an underdog team. They've not been in the World Cup, I think, for many years, if maybe never. I don't even know. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that they're in the World Cup, and I'm looking forward to it. Would be really cool if they were able to pull off a big upset, you know? It would be cool. And that doesn't mean that I appreciate or that I enjoy Canada's, you know, genocidal resource extraction mafia masquerading as a country. I do not. I do not appreciate Canada's role in upholding colonialism and neo-colonialism and being a loyal lapdog of the United States State Department. You know, I don't like those things. But I cannot like those things while still cheering for and supporting the players on Team Canada who have worked their asses off to put themselves in this position. And, you know, it would be really cool to see them to have some kind of success in the World Cup. That's all. That's all. Yeah, the German and Japanese teams did not, in fact, do World War II. Just root for who you like. I still don't really trust those Germans, though, I gotta say. I'm sure, I mean, maybe the players are fine. I don't know. I don't know, though, G-Cleppy. I don't know. I don't know if I trust these Germans. Sometimes I think the Germans got off a little too lightly. Okay, the Japanese didn't get off lightly, right? Not at all. I don't know about these Germans, though. Anyway, Chin Chin, I got a little surprise beverage for you here. I got a little surprise beverage. Are you ready for this? I got something new. I got something new and different today. I got something new and different. You ready for this? Check this out. Enjoying one of these bad boys. Today. A cherry Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Looking forward to it. Just got a fresh pack. Fresh fridge pack. I just put it in the freezer actually to get it cold, and it's quite icy. I'm seeing there's some ice particles in there. So chin. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was looking for. That's exactly what I was looking for. It is good, Moss. Coca-Cola better be sponsoring the stream. Obviously, Coca-Cola does sponsor the streams, but in particular Diet Coke. I switched it up today. Coca-Cola Corporation, though, does sponsor the stream, obviously, and does co-sign all my views as well. I run a lot of this stuff by them, by their ad partners, before going online, and they agree with and co-sign all my views on politics, imperialism, etc., capitalism, Germany, and what have you. Drinking the same soda. Very nice. Very nice. It is really good. The most subversive beverage. The most subversive beverage, except for Spunk Guzzler 69. Yo, what's up? What is up, Spunk Guzzler 69? Happy to have you in the stream today, in the chat. Not a subscribed member of the community, but potentially a new valued community member. Maybe. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves on this kind of stuff, but potentially a new valued community member in our midst. Of course, Spunk Guzzler 69. One of many valued Spunk Guzzlers in the chat. Absolutely. Oh, man. That's great. That's great stuff, that soda. I love that. That's a great pick from Old Dutch. Oh, man. That's wonderful. I love this. I'm going to get to the stuff about this Colorado Springs shooting soon, okay? I would just like to be able to start off with some fun stuff before we dive into that. Love this picture. This is great. It's like we're in Old Dutch. It's like we're enjoying it together. Look at that. It's like we're enjoying it together. That's fun. That's cool. What's your group picks? I don't know. Like, I honestly, Dimitri, I don't watch this shit enough to really have anything meaningful to add about this, you know? I really don't know. I don't know what the groups even really are. And I don't know enough about the players to really make any kind of accurate judgment about who's going to win and who's not going to win. I could guess. You know? I could just throw some shit at the wall. Excuse me. And see what sticks. But... This picture is so cool. Man, the future does have some cool stuff. Look at this. This is wonderful. I like the watching on the big TV too. I didn't know people watch the stream like that. That's cool. I like that. I think I'm going to pick up obviously participating in Black Friday is barbaric and awful, but regardless of any of that, I probably am going to pick up a new TV on Black Friday. There's some very cheap, like 50-inch TVs available at Walmart that I think I'm going to pick up starting tomorrow. I'm not just saying that to assuage the Coca-Cola marketing team watching right now, but this is making me thirsty for one. Mine is so cold, too. It's so cold. It's just so refreshing and good. Hello, Sean. What is up? What is up? I'll let you know as well, folks. I'm trying to overcome my anxiety about music and sharing music that I make with people. Obviously, I make the music for this stream, and I've been doing that for a while, but that's kind of different. I did drop a new track on the Hurstwood Bandcamp page. If you want to hear that, if it's on the there, you can find it there. I started a new thread in the Discord server as well, where I could just post stuff about that project if people want to listen to it. So now there's 2 tracks up on the Bandcamp page. Give it a listen if you want to. Let me know what you think. I always appreciate getting the feedback from people. People have been very supportive and very positive about this music I've been making, so that's been nice. That's been very nice. Because I've talked before about the kind of anxiety that I have about sharing that kind of stuff. It's really like a level of vulnerability that's just kind of unmatched, you know? You can share writing or creative stuff and you're vulnerable doing that, but you're especially vulnerable, I think, sharing music and stuff where you're like singing and writing lyrics and stuff. It's just like opening yourself up for, just pain. It's very difficult, but I'm really trying to overcome this feeling of anxiety and this feeling of you should not do this. You should just keep this to yourself. Musicians are sickos. Yeah. It's true. It is true. For what it's worth, I both love the music and respect the bravery because that does sound scary. It is scary. It's very scary. That's why I only sing Jimmy Buffett songs. I also do enjoy singing the classic Jimmy Buffett song, Margaritaville, which, as we all know, I know all the lyrics to, all the words to. A song that I enjoy a lot and sing often, and I have never been mistaken about any of the lyrics to that, referencing any of the beverages that are mentioned in that track. I do know the lyrics to that song. One of my favorite songs. And we don't need to get into any of the details about previous times that I've sang that song and anything that I may or may not have said during those moments, during those times. We don't even be sharing any fake news in the chat about this. Did Megan McCain misquote one of his songs? No, that was Drift Away by Dobie Gray. I always forget the name of the original artist, Dobie Gray. It's so annoying when you search for that song and the first thing that comes up is Uncle Cracker. and not the classic Dobie Gray song. What a fucking great song. What a great song that is, Drift Away by Dobie Gray. That was the one that Meghan McCain misquoted. She said, "Give me the Beach Boys. Give me the Beach Boys and free my soul." Hello, Oscar. What's up? Sometimes I can't help but wonder if a different Rob in charge would have flubbed those lyrics at such a vital moment. We'll never know. I mean, because there won't be another Rob in charge. We'll never know, though. Fortunately, when I did sing the song on this stream, I got it 100% correct. So, hello, Dakadoon. What's up? How humiliating would it be if we had a TRRS meetup at the Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville and the Las Vegas Strip and Rob did that? Librarian, thank you for the 420. Thank you.
You know what takes away my anxiety? An icy, refreshing, 0-calorie Coca-Cola.
That's absolutely right. That is absolutely right. Thank you very much, Librarian. Is it true you sang it to She at his birthday party? That is absolutely correct, yes. And sorry, Progressive Nuck said, the music was great, but I was a bit surprised to see that it didn't have an accompanying music video involving a 1986 Oldsmobile for just $89.99. Hey, Metal Dipshit, what's up? The only good Coke is regular Coke, brother. Strong disagree. I never drink regular Coke. Obviously, I'm a big Diet Coke head, and Diet Coke head. And today I switched it up, picked up some cherry zero sugar Coca-Cola today at the store. I still drink that garbage, absolutely, and I fucking love it. I fucking love it, folks. No apologies for me on that one. Oh. That's good. That's very good stuff. What else? What other updates do I have here for you? Nothing can beat the original, but Zero comes close. So I much rather Diet Coke than Coke Zero. I prefer the aspartame diet soda to the sucralose. The sucralose is what they put in the Zero, Coke Zero, which just like it tastes more like the original, but just without the sugar. But the thing is, when it comes to me and Diet Coke, I don't want it to taste like the original. I want it to taste like Diet Coke. It's a lighter taste. It's not as sweet. I like that. It's more like cola flavored water. Like that's why I prefer that. You can barely even taste the sweetness to it. It's very refreshing. I joined a Coca-Cola Discord for the emotes, but they had no Diet Coke emote. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. But the Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Cherry, that's a totally different story. My close friend is a diet soda fiend, only diet drinks. Well, same with me. Same with me, big time. Diet Coke, big Diet Ginger Ale fan. Diet Ginger Ale, I think, is one of the diet sodas that is most like its original. Very little separation. Diet Ginger Ale is very good. Diet Mountain Dew, good. Diet Dr. Pepper, excellent. That's one of the best sodas there is. That's one of the best sodas in the game. Diet Dr. Pepper. It's fucking great. Zero was good, but I have such a lifelong emotional attachment to Diet Coke. It's totally its own thing. It is. It absolutely is. The Budweiser Discord has no BLL emote. What the fuck are these big corporate Discord mods doing? Like, do you care? Are you taking this shit seriously or aren't you? This is the radical discourse you won't get from other streams. Exactly. This is how we get the conversational juices flowing. I went through a Pepsi phase in high school. You know, like, I'm not like, I'll prefer Diet Coke always, but I'm not opposed to having a Diet Pepsi. I'm not. Hey, Frost Banana, how's it going? And hey, Farflight also, hello. Sometimes I like a Diet Pepsi. It's a little bit more, it's a little sweeter.
Count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
My doctor seems to think that 17 Diet Cokes per day is too much. In case you ever consider getting off caffeine yourself, let me explain the process. You begin by sitting motionlessly in a desk chair. Then you just keep doing that forever because life has no meaning.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for the 13 months tier 1. Edard Stark, maybe if you just sat your ass down and listened, we can get to that subject matter. Before you start firing off the questions, right now we're talking about beverages, okay? We can talk about that other shit later. Alright, I will get to that. This stream's been on for like 20 minutes. I'm getting a little warmed up here. Alright, is that okay with you? Is it okay with you if I talk about diet soda and beverages and the things like that first before I get into this serious discussion? Let me know if that's okay with you. Since you're in charge, obviously, of when things get discussed and how they get discussed. Just let me know. Okay, see you later. Fine. Take care. Oh, that was fun. That was exciting. That was an exciting start to the stream. Now back to still about that soda. You know, one soda that is also one good diet soda. Fresca, obviously, Fresca is S tier. Fresca is amazing. Diet orange soda as well, which I don't see that often anymore. I used to pick it up more often, but I don't see it in the store very often. Diet orange soda. You know, you don't think I've ever had Fresca? Sean. Oh my. Fresca is just fucking tremendous. It is God tier. Haterade in the Winterfell water supply. Yeah. Fresca's garbage. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I must admit, it is kind of problematic, but I have been watching a bit of the Dahmer TV series, and it feels kind of weird and wrong to watch. It is very well made, and the main actor in it does quite a good job, I find. But it's very disturbing, and I think there's also a big problem with the way that the victims' families were like not really happy about this story being told, and the creators of the series were just like, whatever. It is like I don't know if I'm enjoying it because it's very disturbing. It is extremely disturbing. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because they did a scene like where Dahmer's being interviewed by the cops and he's just chaining cigs and chaining orange sodas. He's just having a bunch of orange sodas while he talks in his creepy Midwestern accent. Is Wisconsin the Midwest? It is, right? It is. And he just talks in his Midwestern accent about all the horrible things he's doing while he's chaining darts and slamming orange sodas as well. So I must admit, while watching that, it didn't make me crave a lot of things. It did make me think, like, I'd like to enjoy an orange soda, though, sometime. I haven't had an orange soda for a while. I would really enjoy that. Is it worth a watch? I don't know if I would recommend it. Honestly, it's extremely disturbing. Like I said, it's well made. It's well made. I don't know. I honestly don't know if I would recommend it. I really don't. I think it in kind of disturbing ways, it kind of humanizes Dahmer, while it doesn't make any excuses for any of his horrible actions, but I think it is just kind of inherently problematic. Just like having him being the main focus of the series, right? And just seeing his childhood and seeing his like family life, and just asking, it just feels wrong. It feels weird. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes of it. Sean, you got to hang on with Andor. I mean, for me, Andor, I was just sold the moment there's that scene with the Chief Inspector Hine, when talking about the incident that sets the whole plot in motion, and he's just telling that young guy, Karn, or Cyril Karn, I think his name is, telling him, like, don't look into this. Like, this is not... These guys kind of were asking for trouble. They obviously messed with the wrong person. We're not going to make a big thing of this. Just fucking make up a story or whatever. I really loved that guy. I was like... As soon as I saw that scene, it just felt different. It felt different from anything else that had been on like Disney Star Wars or Star Wars in general. And I was like, oh man, this is really cool. But it does pick up, though, definitely. It does. It absolutely does pick up. The Rent-A-Cop Brigade. Yeah, that's right. It absolutely does pick up. In the finale, I'm looking forward to watching that tonight. Really, probably the best show on TV. Dahmer, I don't know if I would recommend to anyone. Like I said, it is well made. The performance is good. The main character, the main actor. It's got, what is it, Richard Lewis? No, not Richard Lewis. That's the comedian. The guy that plays Dahmer's father. The guy, he's from 6 Feet Under. Can't remember the name of the actor. He's also in Burn After Reading and a number of other movies. Like, the acting is good. It's well made. But it's extremely disturbing, and yeah, again, made without any approval from the victims' families, which is a huge problem. And just extremely disturbing. Richard Lewis playing Dahmer. The food is terrible and the portions are so small. You've been watching For All Mankind, so I didn't see that. I haven't seen that, but I'm very intrigued by it. It's got a really interesting premise. Ninjarific. How is the anti-communism in that? I'm so bad at watching shows. I'm still on like episode 5 of Rings of Power. I think I'm tapping out of Rings of Power. I think I'm tapping out. I watched like the first 5 episodes or so. Then I think in 6 and 7 I fell asleep in both of them, and now I'm behind, and now it's just like I don't think I'm gonna watch him again. I don't think I can do it. I think I'm just done. I don't think it just didn't grip me. It looks fantastic. It looks really good. Like the effects, the actual look of it is phenomenal. I tapped out on the Ring show and the Dragon show after 2 episodes each. I used to gobble that stuff up. Old Dutch, you got to keep going on the Dragon show, though. I'm telling you. You got to keep up with the Dragon bullshit. The Dragon bullshit was tremendous. It looks great and the cast is really good. Yeah, it is. Like, there's a lot that's enjoyable about it, but I just think overall as like a season-long arc, it just didn't keep my attention. It just did not keep my attention. Soviets make people disappear when they don't like them, and for all mankind. That is the extent of anti-communism, a lot of other Soviet stereotypes. Fortunately, that's the kind of thing that would never happen in the United States of America, too, so it's good that they're upholding that. Best news show of the last few months is Interview with the Vampire. I've heard good things about that, Husker. Love the movie. I've heard good things about the TV series. And the actual interviewer in the TV series is my man Eric Bogosian, isn't it? Right? A big Eric Bogosian head over here. Which is probably enough to get me to check that out. I just ordered new headphones today because my old Xbox ones I've been using broke, so that is also rad. I remember like a year ago I went on a rant about how I'm not doing the Bluetooth headphone thing and this very sanctimonious thing. I need wired headphones. My phone needs to have one of the headphone jacks and stuff. I will never get Bluetooth headphones or earbuds or whatever that nonsense is. And I must say, I did end up purchasing these Sony Bluetooth headphones, and I just love them. They're fucking great. I like the little case. The case has a little magnet, which is very satisfying. You just pop it back in there. The charging is good. You know, it's not. I don't have to worry about charging cables that often and stuff. It works well with my phone. They sound great. You know? It's good stuff. I tried powering through Phantom Menace last night, but I wanted to watch in timeline order, but honestly, it's unwatchable with Jar Jar and young Annie. I forgot how bad it is. I absolutely did do a dad rant. That's right. I haven't watched Phantom Menace in a long time. I would probably like to watch it with my son, but I agree that there's a lot of it that's probably pretty bad. We did watch The Empire Strikes Back the other day. We watched The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi back to back, like on a Friday and Saturday night with my son. And man, you know, it's a cliche, but fucking Return of the Jedi I enjoy Return of the Jedi. I still enjoy it, but Empire Strikes Back, it just still hits so hard, doesn't it? Especially that end moment, that iconic moment. You've seen it 8,000 times. It's been parodied in every single film. It's such a cliche, and that moment in Empire Strikes Back at the end, the big cliched moment that we've seen a million times, it still just hits so hard each and every time. And the dawning realization on Luke's face when he realizes that Vader's telling the truth. And it's just like, God damn. It just still works. It's still so great. Yeah, the stalking scenes in Cloud City look so good. I love how that whole fight plays out, and it's really just Vader just toying with them, basically. And he's totally just not ready whatsoever to be there. Fuck, it's just fantastic. My hot take is Return of the Jedi is better than New Hope. I don't think it's a better film, but I might enjoy it more, though. Even though I don't think Return of the Jedi has flaws, I enjoy it a lot. I've been watching Better Call Saul final season. It's okay, but it feels over, and there are 4 episodes left. I binge watched that, and I'm just like, I think I'm on episode 8 of the second last season, which is supposed to be a crazy episode, and I've just been like waiting for a right time to watch it. Yeah, like Empire rocks. It's just it's such a fucking cliche, you know, but it's just so great. It's so great. And it's also a case of like George Lucas, who's an incredible talent, but deferring to others when it comes to the screenwriting and the direction. And you have George Lucas being the idea guy, while you have really phenomenally talented filmmakers and screenwriters putting the film together. I think that was the best mix of talent, You know, when he got to the prequels, there's a lot of stuff in the prequels that I like a lot. But still, George was like, he's writing and directing everything. He's just surrounding himself with yes men. The prequels would have been so much better, I think, if there had been more of a team in place. Someone who's going to like challenge George's weirder stuff, give it a bit more focus. I still enjoy the prequels quite a lot, but there's obviously big problems with them. Still, Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite Star Wars films. Talk about moments that still go. I still love the Obi-Wan Anakin showdown in that. I still love that. Talk about moments that hit incredibly hard. Then I will do what I must. I still get chills at that part. George needs a no guy. Yeah. The final standoff between Vader and Luke rules. The music when Vader talks about finding and turning Leia. Yeah, it's great. It's fucking great. I still really enjoy it. I like the whole intro as well. The whole Jabba's palace part is awesome. We still love to talk about our Star Wars, don't we, folks? We still do. We still love Star Wars. We just can't escape. We can't escape the Star Wars discourse. Obviously, we all agree that Last Jedi was bad. I know everyone in the community agrees with that stance about Last Jedi. Not a good Star Wars film. I think we all understand that and agree on that. But we have other weird, spooky synth music enjoyers. Weirdly, one of the only parts of that on the whole original soundtrack, they had an old dude chorus. And the music in Andor is fucking phenomenal. And it doesn't sound like Star Wars music. It sounds like its own thing. It sounds like its own. It's totally its own
use
thing.
The computer to mark up the size of the account.
Oh, thank you, Dimitri. Thank you for the 100 friend coin. Bosk supporter. Am I supposed to understand what that means? I feel like I should know what that means. I mean, as I've said before, even though I enjoy Star Wars, part of the reason that I really like Andor is because it doesn't feel like a Star Wars property at all. Like there's whole episodes go by that you kind of forget that it's even what it is. You don't know who Boss is? Shame. I know who the Boss is. Bosk is a mercenary who appears on screen for like 3 seconds. Okay, I'm not one of that much of a lore head. Glup Shitto. I do like the Boss, Bruce Springsteen, in his classic album Nebraska, one of my favorite albums of all time. No Star Wars movies as bad as Solo. Rogue One is close though. Wow, I'm going to have a hard disagree on that one, Ninjarific. I really liked Rogue One, and that's part of the reason why I think Andor is really good as well. Hello, Red Scary. He's a lizard bounty hunter in the original trilogy. Okay. I may have had a Bosk action figure. Honey, we were born to jog. Meow, 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 meow. I liked Rogue One, but overall I've never been a huge Star Wars person. Dev, you watched Andor, G Clubby? I think you got to get into. If you enjoyed Rogue One, then you'd probably enjoy Andor as well. I'll still give Andor a try. Rogue One is just an editing disaster. Just can't care about Star Wars anymore. But I mean, that's not to like oversell it or whatever. If you don't watch it if you don't want to. Like I was saying though, it's like I think it's refreshing because it doesn't really feel like that. You can kind of forget that that's what it is. How are the struggle session guys? Because I know they're very justifiably, I think, very hard on the Disney Star Wars stuff. Did the struggle session guys come around on Andor though? Does anyone know? I'd be interested to see if that pierced their anti-Disney Star Wars stance at all in any way. I pretty much think that all the spin-off Star Wars shows and movies are way better than the main story sequels. Yeah, I would agree with that take, Squatch. Rogue One, Rebels, Solo, Empire, Clone Wars, in that order for me. I have not watched Andor. I gotta watch that. I haven't watched Rebels either. Should maybe introduce that with my kid. Hey, Pissed, hello. Wow, it's a testament to how long it's been since we've had our friend Pissed. Valued community member Pissed. You're still mentioning the haircut. I should try and watch Rebels with my kid, but if my kid is like, when he has the controller for the TV, the way he watches TV, because I think YouTube has like messed with his brain so much that he'll sit there for like 30 minutes and just watch little 45-second clips of all his favorite shows. He'll watch like 6 different shows. He'll go right to the moment that he wants to see. He'll look at that and then go to another show. I'm just like, maybe one day we could watch a show, put on a show at the beginning, and then you just watch the beginning and the middle and then the end. How about that? And sometimes we do that, but like when he's watching TV, that's what he does. He watches like 6 different shows, just little 45-second clips, and he'll rewind the clip like a bunch of times. Good old
Rob to talk you through all this.
Please do an Avatar extravaganza with Jack. I would love to do that with both of them, actually, said John. Maybe I should do that. I would love to do that. Give him 6 screens we can watch them at the same time. That's just a good idea. That's just smart. Thank you, Dimitri, for the gifted sub. In fact, that reminds me, now that you mention Avatar, I have not watched the new trailer. I have not watched the new Avatar trailer yet. The final trailer. The damn 24-month badge is so classy. I know, Pissed. I know. The Golden Triangle. The Golden Triangle 2-year badge. You're getting pretty close yourself, Pissed. They're teal now? They're teal now. They swim now. I miss Jack too. I miss Jack Allison as well. I couldn't even get my kids to watch Star Trek Prodigy with me. I mean, I did get my kid to watch Avatar. I'm trying to spearhead a movement to make, and like, this is happening as well with the sequel coming out around this time of year. I'm trying to make an annual Avatar viewing around Christmas time, around the Christmas holidays. Great Christmas holidays movie. I'm trying to make it an annual tradition. You should join me in that. Yeah, Relic, this is a great point. This is exactly what I've been kind of saying to people as well about this. Andor is more a show about what it means to build a revolution and about life under a fascist empire than a Star Wars show. I think it's an easy recommend even for people who have never watched anything Star Wars. Absolutely. That's what I was saying. Like, it's a show about, living under a fascist empire. It's about the kind of person that becomes a revolutionary and why they make these decisions and what it costs to become a revolutionary, what it costs you. It's about the kind of person that becomes a fascist and what makes them tick, There's some really interesting stuff going on there. Man in the High Castle. Dimitri, so like Man in the High Castle, I did watch season 1. I think it's worth watching just for some very interesting visuals. Like there's some very interesting and disturbing visuals about this like fascist America, this fascist Nazi America. And the combining of like overt Nazism with like wholesome 50s American like suburban Americana, and taking these two things and mashing them together, and it first of all, it feels very like it. Yeah, this kind of makes sense. Well, it's this crazy alternate universe about fascist America. I know. Wow, it's hard to believe. We all know that America's not like that regularly, but I mean, like, overtly Nazi. Like going like the old, like the white picket fence suburbs with the neighbor grilling up something, just be like, "Hey, Sig Heil, Marv," you know? That's that kind of thing. Like, it's super like, ugh, you watch it and it just makes you like kind of get chills. I didn't watch the rest of it, though. I didn't really watch the rest of it. Andor goes hard. I wonder if they'll try to redirect or blunt the anti-imperialist themes going forward. Yeah, it's like when it comes to Andor, you get the feeling that Tony Gilroy like tricked Disney into making this TV series. I might have to have another one of those Cherry Coke Zeros. I don't know. Is that excessive? Is that too decadent? Would it be too decadent if I were to have a second Cherry Coke Zero? Let's get the verdict from the chat. Is that too decadent? Gonna have another one when the game starts. I guess that's a good idea too. God, it's like starting pretty soon. It's a zero. You're good. That's right. Lunacy. 2 in less than an hour. Very bourgeois. It's true. Treat yourself to a second when you're celebrating American Thanksgiving Eve. Doc says do it. And that's a medical doctor. That's a medical doctor. I watched the first couple of seasons of The Boys and enjoyed that. I haven't watched all of the new one though. I will say, a little life lesson for me today is like it's my prescription. Okay, Doc. Thank you. Earlier, I made a very good sandwich. And you know what? It's like when you make a really good sandwich and you're still kind of peckish after it's finished, there's no reason. Here's my point, dude. There's no fucking reason. You can't just make another sandwich immediately after. There's nothing stopping you. There's nothing. When you make a tasty sandwich and you're not quite satisfied, there's nothing at all stopping you from just making another one. Are you still making the spicy egg boys? I am. Though I didn't have one today. It was a very simple sandwich. I picked up some at the grocery store. I picked up some it's in the rotisserie chicken section, but it's like fried. But I don't think it is fried. It's like a rotisserie chicken, but that has like a crispy skin on it. I don't know how you would describe that. I don't think it's fried. I don't know what that would be, but I picked up some of that, and I shredded that onto a sandwich with some spicy mayo and some hot peppers on a croissant, on croissant bread. There's the spongy croissant bread as well. That was very good. And I ate the sandwich and I was like, oh, I was still a little bit hungry. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to make a second sandwich. And I did. And it was good. Hey, Lana, how's it going? I've been talking for almost an hour here, so I should probably get to the actual serious discourse. I had a sandwich today too. All right, Lana. What kind of sandwich are we talking here? Soup and sandwich combo. Let's get more deets on that, Lana. Let's unpack this. Okay, turkey sandwich. Very good. Leek and potato soup. Okay. That sounds wonderful. Okay, I'm getting another Coke. I'll just be back in 1 sec. Can you imagine talking about beverages this much? I know. Unbelievable. I had a bagel with cream cheese and chili crisp for breakfast just now. That sounds nice. Fireflight just finished a turkey sandwich. There we go. Well, here we go. I don't know if it's decadent. I don't know if it's bourgeois, but I'm on my second Cherry Coke Zero here. God help me. Chin chin. It's nice to talk about beverages and TV shows before diving into depressing shit. It's true. It's true. 2 Cherry Coke Zeros in this economy? I know. You know, I'm going to have a sandwich now. Chicken, Gouda, apple, cucumber with mayo and dill. That sounds very tasty, Old Dutch. Freelance Communist said, I got a chicken and waffle sandwich that I was so stoked about the other day, but then the chicken ended up being reused barbecue chicken that they battered and fried later. Very weird. That's unfortunate. And Lana's sandwich is on a challah roll. That sounds very good. It is pomegranate season, so I'm having the seeds from one fruit with a dollop of Greek yogurt, a drizzle of honey, and a sprinkle of muesli. That sounds very nice. Very nice. Nice and healthy snack. Very good. Oh, a can is really just a half portion. That is true. That's true, Sin Chow. Absolutely. Eating leftover Domino's pizza straight out of the fridge. Hell yeah. Love it. It is McDonald's Wednesday in my household currently. But I'm also watching the basketball game with a friend later, so may order a pizza myself later. Could very well be a Domino's. Could very well get a Domino's myself. Could go with the local option though, which is Pendelli's. Pendelli's in Montreal and NDG makes a tremendous pie. That's disrespectful of Chairman Mao, who gave McDonald's Wednesdays unto us. Well, I am going to go... I'm going to go pick up McDonald's because my kid is going to want the Happy Meal. You know what I might do, G. Cluppy, is pick up the Happy Meal, but then just get a single Filet-O-Fish. Just to tide me over. Get a single Filet-O-Fish to tide me over, then pizza later. What do we think about that strategy? A fish sandwich is a light treat, that's right. The bun on that is very good as well. The bun, I don't know what's different about the bun, but there's something like, it's kind of special about it. I'm a double Big Mac man myself, but also my heart is probably dying. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't often get that one. To me, I don't get... Like, the Big Mac is an enjoyable burger, but to me, it's too much bread. It's too much bread for me. That whole like the second bun in there. I would rather have a quarter pounder or a double quarter pounder. Filet-O-Fish is so good, it has no right to be as good as it is. I had never had one until very recently. I was like, you know what, I'm going to try one of these guys. It's quite good. I wonder if you could order a quarter pounder and just get them to, if you could ask them to just put the Big Mac sauce on there. You could do that, right? I'm a little skeptical about some of these off-menu items, but you could just ask them, couldn't you? That would probably be pretty good. You can do anything you set your mind to. Thank you. You can't have them put Big Mac stuff on a quarter pounder. That could be a game changer. I've never really thought about this. Ms. Squatch and I are protesting against a family Thanksgiving this year, refusing to have small talk with people and discuss bad culture, war, politics. Just dinner with her, snacks, and I. Squatch, that sounds lovely. That sounds lovely. I think we need to be able to set these boundaries sometimes, don't we? The phrase "too much bread" is anti-European hate speech, but does I don't know if McDonald's buns like count as like bread. Like if you asked a European if that counted as bread, I think they would say no, it does not. Oh God, that's good. God damn. Big Mac is good, but the bread center does remind me of a toast sandwich, of course. Yeah. The classic toast sandwich. Just sink the entire island. British delicacy. British delicacy, the toast sandwich. Gotta say, I enjoy a toast sandwich. I mean, do you put condiments on that, or... And like I could see how 2 pieces of like spongy bread with some crunchy toast in the middle could be kind of appealing, but like is it just that? Like do you put stuff on there? Like what's the deal with that? Butter the toast, dash of pepper. Wow. I gotta say, I would try it. I would try it. Even though I was just talking shit about it, I would try it. I feel like I would want some cheese or something in there just to like have more ingredients than just the bread and butter, but maybe make an avocado spread in this economy? No thanks. I want to try to afford a home. No avocados for me, thank you. It's funny, as much as that guy was complaining before, I do have... Gotta have the pepper for that little bit of spice, that's right. Little heat on there. Red Scary, that's correct. That guy came in here and was like, why aren't you talking about this thing? And I kind of made fun of him, but it is true that I was going to talk about like these important subjects. And I've been here an hour, and we're just talking about TV shows and beverages and sandwiches and stuff. I've been doing this the entire time. The entire last hour. Marmite on toast is pretty good. I don't know. I've tried Marmite before and I found it awful. And I eat like a lot of stuff. Like there's few things that I eat that I'm like, oh no thank you. But like Marmite I find actively unpleasant. Chat zone comes first. You know this. I know. This has been kind of an extended one, but sometimes you need that, don't you? And this is like... Remember, folks, this is like the last stream of the week. It's a short week over here. It is a short week. Remember. Because my kid is not in school tomorrow or the next day. So if you were holding off on supporting the stream or subscribing to the channel, remember, you don't need to do that. Is something going on this weekend? No, it's just that I don't know why my kid doesn't have school. I honestly don't know why. Why he doesn't have school tomorrow or the next day, but he doesn't. So I'm probably going to be taking care of him during the day. The nerve of Marmite eaters to talk badly about peanut butter is outrageous. That is outrageous, Red Scary. That is outrageous. It's insulting. Like, let's call it what it is. No Black Friday stream. I thought you were going to help us defeat the capitalists through door-busting deals. No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. I am going to probably purchase a television from Walmart, though. Maybe it's a stupid question, but do they do Thanksgiving in Canada? Yes, they do, Venus, but it's a month previously. It's in October. Canadian Thanksgiving. Overall, it's a very similar thing. Similar foods. Similar whitewashing of our genocidal history. You know, it's the same deal. It's just a month earlier. It's like Canadian football. There's no fourth down. No fourth downs in Canadian football rules. Only 3 downs. I bring you love and solidarity and sad Scandinavian fermented fish. Yeah, first, I like when my fish tastes like urine. Actually, so I'm gonna fit right in when I go visit you in Scandinavia. Comrade social distancing. That's right, Matt. No fourth down. Which is cool. So the end zones are like the end zones are twice as big. And there's no fourth down, so it encourages, I think, more passing. There's less of that kind of like rugged running game kind of thing. And you have to dodge the uprights. That's right. Costco was terrifying last week, and it's probably worse now. Yeah, I'm going to order my Black Friday TV online, I think. Is Canada just that down bad that you're celebrating American holidays now? I mean, we're just basically a northern colony of America at this point, too, so. We just have these little differences to make us feel like we have our own little traditions. Everyone opened up the fermented fish that CSD sent you. Now we can eat together. There we go. That's from Iceland. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to generalize between these different cultures. Canada is not real, so who cares? Correct. We're a mining outpost, or as I described it on the podcast or earlier today, it's a genocidal resource extraction mafia masquerading as a country. Not real. Not a real country. But I am looking. It's just like 3 corporations in a trench coat. Has anyone tried that? Everyone ever thought of that one? I am looking forward to the Canada World Cup game though. I might put it on like while I'm doing the stream. I should really get to like talking about this serious subject matter, right? Shouldn't I? Shouldn't I get to the serious subject matter here? I guess so. I think it's important to talk about. We did the whole segment yesterday on right-wing stochastic terrorism. I think it is really important to pay close attention to how right-wing media is responding to this shooting and what is different about that as compared to other similar mass shootings that have also been inspired by right-wing rhetoric and right-wing media. It feels like there's a shift happening that's really terrifying. And we also need to talk about this news about the shooter saying the shooter's lawyers saying that they're non-binary. And the discourse around that. I guess we should just get to this. Hey, Hildebeest, hello. How's it going? I disregard this image here. Disregard this image. It's not what I'm referencing. I'm actually pissed at how many people who are expressing outrage now are responsible for helping to platform these fucking freaks on YouTube and Twitch, and none of them have so much as acknowledged it. Yeah, there's been a lot of footsie played with this kind of, especially these kind of like anti-trans people as well. Absolutely, yeah. The whole platforming these kind of fascists and debating them. Debating the fascists on your YouTube channel, and then at the same time saying these people are stochastic terrorists when their rhetoric inevitably inspires these like mass killings. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't like give them huge platforms, perhaps. I don't know. Oh, and please remind me though. Please, I do have some more lighthearted stuff to look at after. Some like palate cleansing, lighthearted stuff to look at after. But let's talk about the ways that like, so what did we talk about yesterday? We talked about how like in the past, you know, the right, they've never apologized for any of the rhetoric when it comes to immigrants, refugees, Muslims, Jews, socialists, black people. You know, whenever right-wing rhetoric inspires these kinds of like mass killings, and there's been dozens of these mass killings all across the world. This actually doesn't look right. Let me just fix this. But there's at least an effort on the part of these folks to like distance themselves from the violence, right? There's like a small effort to distance themselves. They take a day to do like, thoughts and prayers for the victims before kind of immediately doubling down on it. This feels totally different this time. After this killing in Colorado Springs, which, as we talked about, regardless of any news that's come out about this shooter, and we can get into this, but like, regardless of any news about the gender identity of this shooter, which I'm very skeptical about, first and foremost. Regardless of that, though, it's a shooting at a gay club where trans men and women were murdered, which was hosting one of these all-ages drag shows as well, which has been a non-stop target of right-wing media over the last couple of months, especially, and has been like the emphasis on like anything like from gender-affirming care to these drag queen story hours or drag queen all-ages drag shows as being like pedophilia and grooming and something that's inherently dangerous and violent. So regardless of the gender identity of this shooter, and again, I'm really skeptical about this, and we can talk about why, but that doesn't change the fact that this is still a killing that's targeting a hateful killing that's targeting these communities that are being vilified constantly in right-wing media. None of that changes that in any way. Tim Pool is another one who got glad-handed by debate morons. That is true, Lana. And it's just the whole facade of Tim Pool pretending he's some kind of like centrist or liberal. I mean, he still tries to pretend that that's the case, and it's fucking remarkable. But this is what's different now. You know, there's no effort at doing thoughts and prayers. There's no effort at trying to distance themselves from the violence. You have what you see right now with Tucker Carlson, with Matt Walsh, and all these like people that have been pushing this transphobic stuff. They're just bragging about it. They're bragging about it and openly threatening these communities, saying the violence is going to continue as long as your community exists. Like, they're just openly being very honest about that, which is not as much something that they've done in the past. It does feel like a new shift, you know? It's really scary. Trolling or trying desperately to avoid the hate crime charge. It's obvious. No, it's not unkind to point this out. It isn't at all. But anyway, let's look at. I haven't seen this clip. Let's look at it.
Right. I mean, it shouldn't have to be said, but what is anti-LGBTQ that these people need to understand, and what is putting our community in great danger is, claiming that all of us support this and just associating all of us with this. Saying that groomer is an anti-LGBTQ slur, that is doing irreparable damage to us as a whole, and is putting a really large target on our backs. And unfortunately, the tragedy that happened in Colorado Springs the other night, it was expected and predictable. We all, within Gays Against Groomers, saw this coming from a mile away. Yeah. And sadly, I don't think it's going to stop until we end this evil agenda that is attacking children.
And they both seem very concerned about this. They both seem someone from the Gays Against Groomers, the very real, non-astroturfed organization. Just immediately doubling down on this rhetoric. Being a gay and anti-trans person is so fucking lame and idiotic. Yeah. And just this is implicitly threatening these communities, saying the violence is not going to stop. The violence is going to stop as long as things like gender affirming care exists. This violence is not going to stop. And it's really scary, the way that they've twisted the concept of gender affirming care for young people into something that's inherently grooming, sexualizing. That's really fucking dark and sinister. The idea that if you're a young trans person, if you talk to a teacher or a doctor that treats you with basic dignity, and that's being treated as some kind of abuse or some kind of grooming. Viagra is gender affirming care. I know, it's so hair plugs are gender affirming care. Fox News is just hunting for sport now. Yeah, or, not talking about things like child beauty pageants, which are 100% sexualizing kids, That's what it's not about sexualizing kids. It's not about protecting kids from that kind of thing. As we've seen with Matt Walsh as well. He's an age of consent guy. He's that was his main political issue for years, was being the age of consent is liberal tyranny. They don't care. They don't care about sexualizing kids or protecting kids from grooming or any of that stuff. Right? They care about harming trans people, right? And just the basic idea of gender affirming care for kids, just framing that as being sinister or grooming or pedophilia is so fucking dark, and suggesting that as long as that continues, that the violence is going to continue, and feigning this kind of concern. Oh, darn, I guess this violence is going to continue. They don't care about grooming. They all love the church and the cops. Yeah, Matt Walsh literally is on record defending the Catholic Church from criticism about child sex trafficking and pedophilia. That really says it all right there. It really says it all. I can't look at Tim Pool's page because he banned me or he blocked me because he doesn't agree with free speech. But this is the kind of cowardly shit that he's saying, right? And he's doing it in this extremely slimy way as well, where he's kind of suggesting that he's against the violence, while also implicitly endorsing the violence at the same moment. It's just one of the things about these fucking people, whether it's Matt Walsh or Tim Pool or whoever. I wish they would just come out and I don't want to give Matt Walsh credit. It's not you got to hand it to him kind of guy. At least Matt Walsh is a little bit more honest about his feelings of genocidal violence toward these groups. But I hate this cowardly thing where they encourage the violence and they go push right up to that point of encouraging violence. And then they say, oh, no, I don't support that, when they obviously do. So again, Tim Pool just framing the idea of drag, just the idea of drag, which is it's been going on in America and in our culture for fucking ever. And this obsession with drag, I find so bizarre. And the idea, but if a kid is exposed to someone wearing drag, it's inherently grooming. It's inherently sexualizing. It's inherently it's making them want to do it. It's like, what evidence is there of that? Like, I'm thinking to myself of my son, if my son saw a drag queen and went to one of these family-friendly drag queen shows, he would probably be like, oh, cool, it's costumes. It's someone wearing a costume. He'd probably think that's pretty neat. And then he would just move on with his day. You know, there's nothing inherently sexualizing, and there's nothing inherently like wrong or dangerous about that. I don't understand the fucking fixation on it. I really don't. It's very bizarre to me. But of course, Tim Pool is framing that as the grooming of children and suggesting that he's above the violence. He's saying the grooming of children is not stopping. People are calling for more violence. I do not think that legislators will stop the grooming. People will not stop calling for violence. So you tell me what happens next. So he seems like he's like, oh no, there's going to be more violence. But like, he's also encouraging it at the same time. The curse of being a communist is being able to see all this shit happening around us, having the correct takes and predicting what's going to happen, and no one will ever listen. It is, yeah. It is the curse of it. Drag's not for me, but even on Turf Island, drag is a cultural thing. Yeah, it's like, I don't fucking get it. This is not a new thing. This is not some new phenomenon. It's bizarre. Like, are the fucking kids in the hall grooming kids? Oh no, kids in the hall. Dangerous groomers. You know, who fucking cares? Why do people get so upset about this? It's so strange. So, like, this is the day after 5 people are murdered at this event. So we have Tim Pool retweeting Kurt Schlichter. I don't think we have to tolerate. Kurt says, I don't think we have to tolerate pedophiles because some asshole shot up a gay bar. Like, who is there a pedophile? What pedophiles? Frankly, a lot of people trying to convince us we need to tolerate pedophiles seem to be happy to use any excuse to silence our opposition. Like, it's so fucking dangerous how it's just become total accepted truth on the right to describe all ages drag shows and doctors and teachers and psychologists giving gender affirming care as pedophiles, or just describing trans people in general as just being inherently like pedophilic, right? When on, like, as we talked about before, a lot of the time these folks are the first people to sexualize trans children, or they just view like any kind of younger trans person as just being inherently sexualized. There was that picture a few weeks ago about that. It was literally just a picture of like a trans girl in high school. And it was just like a fucking normal picture of them. And they're freaking out like this like sexually provocative image. And it's like, it's literally just like a fucking ordinary picture of an ordinary teenage girl. Like, there was nothing inherently sexualized about it at all. And these fucking freaks are the first people to start making these kind of connections. Yeah, and they absolutely sexualize even cis kids all the time. Yeah, absolutely. And then so Tim Pool, like centrist Tim Pool, radical centrist, says we shouldn't tolerate pedophiles grooming kids. Club Q had a grooming event. How do we prevent the violence and stop the grooming? Tim, sir, it doesn't sound like you want to prevent the violence at all. Because again, you're describing something completely innocuous as being a pedophilic grooming event, which has no connection to actual reality. Yeah, pedophiles like groomers is just code for queer people, easily to justify horrific acts for them, I guess. And as we talked about as well, Alexandro, this is exactly like when gay rights started to become more of a mainstream topic of discussion. All this kind of talk that's used against transgender people, this was all targeted towards gay people as well originally. And I'm sure it will again if these people get their fucking way. But literally all the, like, word for word, the exact same rhetoric. You can't have gay people because they're just like, they're dangerous to kids. They're pedophiles. They're grooming kids. They're going to make kids gay. They're brainwashing kids to get into their gay agenda and stuff like that. It's literally the exact same word for word arguments that they're making now about transgender people. So Tim again, suggesting that anything that involving this like drag or gender affirming care, Club Q, where people were just 5 people are murdered, describes it having a grooming event. It seems that around 10 p.m., Club Q posted that they were having an all-ages drag show the next day. About 2 hours later, the shooter came in. People kept calling for wood chippers, and this is what happens. Blaming the victims. Like, maybe instead of blaming the victims, we should blame people like Tim Pool or people like Matt Walsh or Tucker Carlson, who have spent the last fucking year or more of their lives suggesting that there's something inherently dark and sinister or pedophilic about these drag shows. And then being surprised and then blaming the fucking victims when one of these events is targeted by a fucking mass killer. You know, it's not Club Q that's to blame here. It's the nonstop campaign of disinformation and the creating of this panic around these issues that is leading to these killings, not the actual people that are victims of it. The people I encounter are terrified of anyone letting their kids know being queer is okay, just like CRT. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's like you can't even mention anything that racism even exists. You can't speak to kids about the fact that being queer is like a thing, that queer people exist, that gay or trans people exist. There's something inherently just sinister about that. There's something inherently dark and sinister about it. That's the game that they've been running for at least the last year, but it's been going on for longer than that. But they've, it was last year. If it was CRT, this year, this is what it is. One of these ghouls also called LGBT folks cockroaches, and we know where this rhetoric goes. Well, I wanted to get to that next. With fucking Matt Walsh. This Matt Walsh, by the way. This Matt Walsh. This is Matt Walsh, the children protector. The one who's against grooming. Matt Walsh, the one who's against the sexualization of children. This guy. Who's saying here, but no, as a matter of principle, I don't believe in age of consent laws, but who am I to decide when a girl is ready? That's the guy. That's the guy who is so concerned about grooming and the sexualization of children. This motherfucker. This guy. This Matt Walsh, by the way. This Matt Walsh. The pedophile scandal in the Catholic Church is not a pedophile scandal. The vast majority of victims are post-pubescent teens and young men. The real problem in the church is that everyone sees and few will say out loud, gay priests. That Matt, this is the man who's taken it upon himself to defend innocent children from being groomed and sexualized. This guy. He's made it his whole career to talk about this. My hot take is that these people get mad at the existence of LGBTQ people for the same reason they get mad about sex ed. The last thing any of them want is kids who are literate and articulate about their own bodies and know what consent is because it upsets the power structure that allows them to control and abuse their own kids. That's a excellent take, Lana, as usual. But this is what I mean about the change in rhetoric here, right? The day after a mass shooting, no effort on the part of Matt Walsh to do the thoughts and prayers thing. Of course, I abhor violence, etc. When someone points out his connection to this kind of rhetoric that inspires this stuff, he says, "Wow, these cockroaches are really going all in with the defamation today." As the clip shows, I said no such thing. Of course, because he doesn't need to say it, because dipshits like Matt Walsh know exactly how to get their violent genocidal message out there without explicitly saying the words "go out and commit mass killings." Obviously, I think we're hip to this game, Matt. It's the mafia boss thing. It would be a terrible shame if something were to happen. We're not fucking morons, you loser. But yeah, then immediately the day after the shooting, these cockroaches really going in with all on the defamation today. Cockroaches. And what was the other thing that he said? And this gets into this whole shooter identity thing. So cockroaches, and also the day after a mass shooting, take your medicine and shut up. This is Matt responding to this news story about the shooter. Apparently the shooter's lawyer is saying he identifies as they, them. He says, sorry, but if you're on the left, then you have no right to deny the shooter's non-binary identity. You set a precedent here and we will hold you to it. You have to respect his identity. I don't. You do. These are your rules. Now take your medicine and shut up. This is Matt Walsh the day after one of these fucking people goes in and commits a mass killing in a gay club, targeting trans people, targeting gay people, targeting one of these drag queen, all ages drag shows that Matt Walsh himself spends his entire every fucking day of his life vilifying and fear-mongering about. Look at me, I'm on the left and I'm denying the shooter's non-binary identity. Yeah, we can in fact do that. Yeah, we can do that. Like I said before, if this was true, and I don't believe it is, if this was true that this shooter did identify as non-binary, and I don't think it is, but it doesn't change anything about the fact that this person did target, and one of these clubs targeted trans people, targeted one of these clubs that's having a all ages drag show that these people vilify constantly and fearmonger about. It doesn't change anything about the fact that they're still responsible. It changes nothing at all. Here's what I want to know about this shooter, though, and I think there's been some evidence about this. I don't know if I've seen any hard evidence of it. Here's what I want to know, though. Was this person a 4chan person? I've seen people saying they were. I haven't seen any proof of it. But if the answer to that question is yes, then there's no fucking need to take any of this shit seriously about their gender identity, because it's very obviously a fucking 4chan op that they dream up specifically to fucking create these exact kinds of conversations. Right? It's both of those things. It's a 4chan thing. And it is a lawyer thing to get this person out of hate crime charges. They have a burning pride flag on their Instagram. But yeah, we absolutely do not have to respect it. We don't have to respect any of this bullshit, especially, if it's a lawyer thing that's designed to get this person out of getting charged with the hate crime, or if it is a 4chan.
This is some guy, Rob Russo, some leftist based in Canada. I was turned on to this sick individual, and I found
Lucid,
this.
Hello. Lucid Fox, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, Lucid Raiders. Get in here, Raiders. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm Rob. Hello. Listen, I'm 10 followers away from 8K. 10 followers away from 8K. Please, smash that follow button. Smash the follow button, folks. This is a life-changing raid.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Drakeson, thank you for the 4 months tier 1. Thank you. I'm sorry you don't have Thanksgiving food tomorrow. Well, we had the correct Thanksgiving last month, but thank you, Lucid. And there's actually nothing stopping me from eating Thanksgiving food anyways. You can just do that at any time. We still treasure you. Thank you. Thank you for that. We're right in the middle of some and I just hit 8K. There we go. Thank you, friends. Thank you, friends. I still encourage you to follow and subscribe if you can, but we get double Thanksgiving. That's right. But thank you, friends. We hit 8K. We did it. We did it. Now you can watch TRRS
in 8K. You can count on me.
Correct.
You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Join the Friendship Triangle chat.
And Lucid, thank you for the 15 months of Prime as well. That's so kind of you. Thank you. And I encourage chat as well to join the Friendship Triangle. revolutionary system. It's hard for me to pivot to like lighthearted.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old
lighthearted
Rob to talk
calls
to
action
this.
when I'm just in the middle of this very
If Twitter
serious
goes
subject
down,
matter.
where will I get my Rob Rousseau reviews of consumer products to more informedly vote with my dollar?
Thank you,
You
Orb
can count
Lady.
on me. You're gonna have good old Rob
Thank
to
you,
talk
Orb Lady,
through all this.
for the 14 months of Tier 1. And I was like, you should have tuned into the first hour of this stream. There was a lot of that stuff. There was a whole lot of that stuff. We do that right here. Maybe you'll have stuffing and mashed potatoes in April. Who cares? You can have it at any time.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Oh, goodness.
Lucid Lurk TRRS Friendship Triangle.
I was asleep
You can
then.
count on me.
Well, I
You're
gotta
gonna have
say,
good old Rob to talk you
we're
through
going to get back
all
to this in a minute. I do have to say, one thing I highly recommend that I'm enjoying today, a little product that I've been enjoying today, is this. Proud sponsor of the stream. Cherry Coke Zero. Very, very enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable product. I'm on my second one. I was getting really decadent today. Very decadent. This is a product that gets the Rob Rousseau endorsement. I like the Zero Sugar Dream World. I like that as well, Lucid. I like that as well. It's interesting. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just kind of an interesting beverage. Thank you also to Ghost for gifting a sub. I appreciate that, Ghost. Thank you, Tiniest Boop, for the 16 months resub at Tier 1. Thank you, Tiniest Boop. And thank you, Ian DJ Cooper, as well, for the 15 months of Tier 1.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Gotta go clean up the house. Y'all be good. Okay, thank you, Lucid. By the way, Lucid, because you were talking about my music career the other day, and I know you were enjoying that. I have actually released some new music. I just wanted to let you know that you can track down. If you do want to listen to some of my new music that I've been releasing, you can do so. If you want to. You know, no pressure. If you want to, you can check it out. And thank you, Don Dark Zoni, for the gifted sub as well. I will link people because Lucid has played my previous music career stuff in his stream. If you do want to listen to some new music that I made, you can click the link there in the chat and check it out. I'd love to know what you think. I'm trying to overcome my anxiety about releasing new music. You can listen to some of my new music there at that link. There's a couple things there you can check out. I would appreciate that. This is very, I don't know if I should take a break from talking about this. I was right in the middle of talking about some very serious, subject matter here. And now we've gotten way off course. I appreciate the raid, obviously, Lucid. I appreciate the raid, but now I'm way off base here. And now we got a hype train. And now I have to try and manage this always delicate balance between talking about very serious subject matter while also being like, thanks for the 14-month resub at Tier 2, Captain Penis, or whatever, whatever it may be. That's always a little tricky to manage, that kind of thing, So I'm not sure if I should just take a little break and then get back into it. I don't know. I do have to try and fill up the sub goal today. As I said, I'm only doing a couple streams this week. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow or the next day. So if you
can
do
count on me, you're going to have
want
good
to
old
subscribe
Rob
to the
to
channel,
talk you through all this.
You can do so for $5 per month or for $0 if you have a Twitch Prime sub. Join the community. Get all the wonderful emotes that we have in this community. You can also gift subscriptions. You can become part of the illustrious friendship triangle system. Oh. Don't besmirch Captain Penis. I'm sorry. We appreciate the principled dialectics of Captain Penis. It's true. I know. I mean, I don't want to. I was just using that as an example. I have nothing against the Captain Penis.
You can count on me. You're gonna have
one of our most valued
Rob
community
to
members.
talk us through all this.
And thank you, Comrade Social Distancing, for the 2 gifted subs. That's very kind of you. Thank you. And thank you as well, Magyar Guy, for paying forward your gifted sub. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Rob is against veterans. I know. I'm fucking sure that, like, sometime today, someone's going to pop in. Captain Penis is going to pop in. Stalin, Lenin, Mao, and Captain Penis, the 4 horsemen, the Mount Rushmore, of course. Yeah. Captain Penis is going to pop in. I was talking about something so serious. I was on a very sanctimonious and important, tangent here, and now we're way off base. I gotta just take a legitimate break here. I gotta wait till this segment is finished, and we're gonna get back into the serious subject matter afterwards. Okay, we're gonna take a short break. Then we can get back and I can put back on my serious face. Pop in or pop off. There we go. That's good. It is upsetting. I guess it's important to take a moment to... By the way, Lana, what do you think about this? Do you see this? Did we see this? We were talking about the shooter in Colorado Springs. We're talking about the unhinged media reaction to it, the way they're all doubling down on the rhetoric and even like openly encouraging more such attacks. And the way that this, like, the shooter coming out as apparently his lawyers indicating that they identify as non-binary, and how the right is kind of like gleefully absorbing that, which is what is probably just like a 4chan op or an effort on the part of the lawyers to get this person out of hate crime charges, and almost certainly not a legitimate expression of any real feelings that they may have. And we can, in fact, deny their gender identity. We can do that, especially if it's being used, if it's being cynically weaponized in order to further harm and target these communities. We absolutely can do that, in my opinion. Maybe some people might disagree. I would be interested to hear that take, but yes. We can get back into that shortly, though. So we got another 90 seconds left in this hype train, folks. Can we get to level 4? Again, I have no more. There's not a stream tomorrow. There is not a stream on Friday. It would be really good, I think, for us to get to that sub goal today. And if you were like, well, I'm going to subscribe to the channel, but I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it Friday.
Count on me. You're going to have a good old Rob to talk you through all this.
It's not going to happen. Thank you, Pissed. It seems like a tactic to avoid hate. It seems like both. It's a tactic to avoid hate crime charges.
Member of the friendship triangle.
Oh goodness, Don Dark Sony, thank you. Don Dark Sony, I very, very, very much appreciate the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, Don Dark Sony. Hell yeah, that kicks ass. Thank you. Yeah, it's an effort to avoid hate crime charges, and it's just an effort to further harm and target these communities and engage in some kind of like trolling, trolling mass murder event, like it's fucking incredibly dark. Do you support Canada in the World Cup? I mean, I've talked about this.
You're gonna have good old Rob
on the podcast this week. The podcast I do with Jordan Ewell, which you can listen to here. I talked about it this week. I don't support Canada as a country. It's not even a real country.
Have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
It's a fake country. It's a genocidal resource extraction mafia masquerading as a country. But the players on the team are just people that play together. They all happen to be born in the same place, more or less. That's what makes them a team. They've worked very hard to get there. And they're kind of enjoyable to support. They're underdogs. I think it's so. Yeah, I will be tepidly supporting Canada in the World Cup, while also recognizing Canada's benign role, extremely not benign role in the world in upholding neo-colonialism, of committing genocide, of being a terrible one of the primary members of this rules-based international order, which has been dominating the entire world, much to the detriment of the vast majority of the people that have to live, especially in the global south, and so on and so forth. Thank you, Dimitri, for the 2 gifted subs. I really appreciate that, Dimitri. Thank you. Dimitri, I'm looking right now at my posters that you recommended from Propagandopolis. They look really good. They're up on the wall right now. They look fucking amazing. Thank you again, Dimitri. I really appreciate it. And thanks, Sean, as well, for the gifted sub. Thank you, Sean. Sean, I hope you come back to streaming soon. I really hope you do. I haven't seen you on there for a while. The rules-based international order has always been the Western world's order. Of course, yeah. Of course it has. Should I watch it? I guess I should open it in a window here. I guess I should. I guess I'm going to watch this live.
Aren't you streaming?
What was that? Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. That was someone in the voice chat. Oh, sorry. So my mic was on. Sorry to interrupt the game. People watching the football match. I apologize. I'm muting now. Okay. Jesus. I think it's okay for communists to enjoy sports and world culture. Just my opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's okay as well. Very smooth. Very smooth. A brief Outrun cameo. Brief cameo from Treasured Mod Outrun. Just for a moment there. Because I opened up the football match. Recognize that voice anywhere. So what do we say, folks? We have another minute. We have another minute in this hype train. Can we get to the elusive level 5? We're 12 subs away from the goal. 50% of the way to level 5. Our friend Dengus, that's right. Can we get there? Once again, it's the last stream of the week. Only 2 streams this week. Monday was a bad physical and mental health day. Thursday and Friday I'm doing childcare.
And have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
So I will not be bugging you about this for the rest of the week. And Don Dark Sony, thank you for another gifted sub. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Once again, who benefits from Don Dark Sony's presence in this community? Well, I do. We all do, but
you can count
mostly
on me.
me.
You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
One of my favorite Don Dark Sony contributions to this community is anytime anyone says thank you in our Discord server to someone else, they get some 15 seconds left, folks. We're almost there. Almost there to level 5. Anytime anyone says thank you in the Discord server, you get a little social credit. The social credit bot comes in and gives somebody a little social credit. And every time, I don't know what, like no matter what he's doing, no matter what Don Dark Zoni is doing, we'll pop in with the Mr. X emote. The moment that it's social credit bot, I think Don Dark Zoni has some kind of alert linked to this. Within seconds, each and every time, Don Dark Zoni will come in with the Mr. X emote on the social credit bot. Thank you for your last bit, Kenny Fox. I appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, it's a very small amount of a donation, but I still do appreciate it. Thanks a lot. It's got to be a top 2 bit in the Discord. It's very good. It's very good. Okay, so we're at 26. I think we can still get to that goal. My last 2 bits. Thank you, Alana. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now the tricky part is I'm going to try and continue this stream and talking about this serious subject matter while also watching the World Cup game totally legally. Totally legally. And by the way, everyone, join the Discord server if you're not in there already. If you're not in the Discord server, go ahead and join that. It's a wonderful Discord server. In my opinion, it is the best Discord server that is available on the entire internet. and there's a lot of very cool events and things going on there. It's absolutely legally 100% legal. That's correct. We just heard another cameo from Outrun as well. Outrun, do you want to just say hi? Do you want to say a formal hi? Come on. Let's hear a formal hi.
Okay, it's just on a webcam microphone, so I'm worried it's not going to be very clear.
Yeah, it's not very clear. No.
It's not very clear. Yeah, I think it's because I'm also streaming the legally.
This is top tier content here. This is top tier.
Gora.
Okay, I think that's enough. I think that's enough. And yes, it is a good stream to look at. It is a good stream to look at while disassembling a desk. Okay, so I think we can get back into the serious subject matter that I was discussing before. In fact, I will, you know what? I'm just going to take a short break. I'm going to take a short break for just a moment. And then I'll be back, and then we'll talk about the serious subject matter. Because I had all those Coke Zeros, and now I need to go to the bathroom, frankly. So I'll be right back. Do not go anywhere. I'll be back in just a moment. And then we'll talk more about this stuff, okay? Don't go anywhere. Okay, hello. Thank you for bearing with me there. Thank you for bearing with me. You got really sidetracked there, so hard to know kind of how to get back into this subject matter here. I'm wondering if we covered all the ground that we need to get. Did you talk about the shooter's grandpa? We did talk about that yesterday, yeah. We talked about that yesterday, and how that's almost certainly the reason that the shooter was able to, like, not be charged with a serious crime when they literally called bomb threats against their own mother. And, you know, this is famously something that cops just love to ignore, right? When these people get arrested for bomb threats. So while this was kind of mysteriously, this charge just totally went away. And how they were able, despite being charged with a crime in that case, were able to still purchase a firearm, still purchase a deadly firearm. So yeah, we did talk about that. I think I just had a couple of other things that I wanted to look at as well. There's a few tweets that I wanted to take a look at about this, and then I think that can probably do it for this subject matter. It's really hard to get into this serious subject and then kind of move on from it. And then get back into it. So I just wanted to take a look at a few more tweets here, and then I can just kind of finish it off. Took a break to listen to Tech Noir by Herstwood. Thanks for test marketing your track with us. Great work. Thank you, Up the Reds. I really appreciate that. Thanks. But this is what I think you're referring to, right? I still feel, I feel like the right-wing stuff with threats against LGBTQ people went up by like 10 notches these past 3 days on Twitter. That's kind of what we were talking about originally on the stream. Before we were rudely interrupted by Lucid and the Lucid raid there. Which is the way that, you know, I've talked about in the past how when the right kind of inspires these kinds of mass killings, whether it's against LGBTQ people or Muslims or Jews or immigrants, black people, or any of these kind of marginalized groups, they often like double down on the rhetoric, but usually there's this sort of modest attempt at like distancing themselves from it or suggesting that they're against the violence or doing like a generic thoughts and prayers thing. And really the difference here with this incident is that there's been no effort at that whatsoever. It's just been immediately right afterwards doubling down on the same rhetoric, basically saying the people that were murdered deserved to be murdered and deserved it because they were groomers or whatever. And that's what this tweet outlines here. It says there's a terrifying shift happening. Right-wing media personalities can't even fake sympathy or condolence for this one. They're completely unrepentant about what happened in Colorado Springs. And it's not long before they openly applaud terrorists targeting queer people's spaces. I mean, I would argue that they're doing that currently. Like, they're currently doing that. They're currently kind of openly applauding this. Like, when people are murdered, and then you immediately, your first reaction when people are murdered is to say that, like, well, those people had it coming. They had it coming because they're doing a grooming event, like what Tim Pool was saying. Like, that is what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. But yeah, it was a reference to this tweet, which we already looked at, from Kurt Schlichter, right? I don't think we have to tolerate pedophiles because some asshole shot up a gay bar. I mean, it's like you're calling the people that they shot up pedophiles. Like there's, I don't know if like that's couldn't get more clear about whether they're celebrating or not, you know? And yeah, so this is the other thing as well, saying the 4chan guy with a burning pride flag as his only post on Instagram, who then shot out and killed people in a gay nightclub on family drag show day, is not they, them. I mean, this is kind of what I was getting at before. If this is like a 4chan thing, then it's like, it's very clearly like an op. It's very clearly just like a 4chan, like it's a part of a 4chan troll. It's the exact kind of thing that they would do. I didn't see anything about this flag. I didn't see anything about this burning pride flag on Instagram. But like the idea that what this person's lawyer is saying, that they identify as non-binary and they, them, or whatever, and that's shielding them somehow from accountability or shielding them from being convicted of any kind of like hate crime, you know, I think it's pretty preposterous. Let me see if I can find a picture of this burning pride flag. That burning pride flag search is probably going to get me into trouble. Yeah, this is the person that we're talking about. This is the person that we're talking about that committed this attack. That is now their lawyer is suggesting, oh, they identify as non-binary. This is their one Instagram post. First of all, Bible quote in the Instagram page, and the only first and only post is a burning pride flag. So it's like, as much as like people like Matt Walsh is saying, oh, this is what do you say? Take your medicine. You must refer to them. You must refer to them as their non-binary identity. Like, you actually don't. You don't. If this is an obvious troll 4chan thing, or this effort on the part of their legal team, this person's legal team, to avoid accountability or to avoid being charged with a hate crime, we don't have to respect that. We don't. And we should indeed continue to focus on, even if this was totally legitimate, like I was saying before, even if it was totally legitimate, it still wouldn't change the fact that these right-wing people have been fear-mongering about trans people and about these all-ages drag shows now for the last year, and suggesting that there's some sinister element involved in it, that involves pedophilia, that involves grooming. And this was, even if this was 100% legitimate, it still is a hate attack on this community that's been fear-mongered against in these right-wing media spaces now for months at a time. So I don't think it really changes anything. Yeah, they, them can also commit hate crimes. That is absolutely right. Yeah. There was a shooting not too long ago where there was a rumor that they were trans, and enlightened centrists used that lie to say there's violence coming from both sides and this isn't a radical right-wing fascist issue. Well, didn't that happen in Uvalde? Wasn't that a rumor that was spread by these actual people? Like, the very people that are responsible for the nonstop fear-mongering about it? Like, they immediately, and this was also a 4chan thing as well. There was immediately already this campaign to suggest that they were trans, or the July 4th shooter. Like, this is becoming a more common thing. The entire Republican platform for the midterms was, we hate trans people. That's right. And like, I think we all kind of like acknowledge that didn't turn into like an electoral victory for them. It didn't seem like there was much of an electoral constituency for it. That doesn't seem to stop them though. It doesn't, at this point, it's not about it's not about winning elections using this kind of rhetoric. It's not about winning elections anymore. It's literally just about inciting hate and inciting violence against these groups. Yeah, they're saying that, no, they are leaning into it. They're absolutely leaning into it. They really, really want to create the narrative of a trans shooter so they have a reason to call trans people dangerous terrorists so they can be systematically destroyed rather than just relying on impromptu shooter attacks. Yeah, they want, ideally, they would like to take this like anti-trans pogrom and turn it into like actual state violence. They're aware, like we saw the clip with Nick Fuentes yesterday, they're aware that they don't actually have the political ability to do that yet, but like the people that are behind these kind of campaigns would like nothing more than to make this an official state policy. More so, because we already know that transgender people are targeted by state violence routinely, and are disproportionate victims of violence. But there's nothing these folks would like more than to, like, you hear about Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is not shy about this. He's not shy about talking about it at all. He's like, we need to be putting these people in prison and putting them on the sex offender registry, even if they manage to get out of prison. Like, they're very clear about their intentions here. You know, and it's really scary. It's really like there is a scary shift that's happening. You know, I talked yesterday, again, I'll mention again, I talked about yesterday about how the right always kind of doubles down on this rhetoric, but there's something that's different this time, I think, in the way that the right has responded to this shooting. And it's very alarming, especially considering the ways, like we talked about before, the ways that actual fascists and Nazis in the past have targeted this kind of gender ideology and the study of gender studies and trans people as well. It's not only spreading a lie about both sides, it's also perpetuating the idea that all LGBT people are all left-wing, which implies that being gay or trans is an ideology. Yeah, that's part of it as well, yeah. Also. You know, I had more stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I just don't know if I have the energy anymore. I think we covered pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about this today. I had wanted to talk about the Canadian security state and all this stuff. I think I might have to wait till next week. I'm running low on energy here. Should have had those 3 Diet Cherry Cokes. I know, I need a little bit more caffeine. I need a little bit more. Yeah, and like you're pointing out, Lon, it's fundamentally about preserving a system of social reproduction. They want to have control over children so they can be the ones that groom children into their explicit vision of what sexuality is, what a family is. Their very narrow, Christian-oriented focus on this, right? They don't care about protecting kids or any of that. They want to maintain their control over these social forces. I'm Gen X, and this is the worst I've seen this kind of manufactured panic against LGBT people since the 80s. It's definitely a new level of evil, Spanish Inquisition vibes. Yeah. It's definitely absolutely, it's very new. I mean, not new, because we've seen this kind of language being used towards LGBTQ folks before, but it really does seem like a dramatic escalation that we haven't seen for some time. You know, even the gay panic stuff in the 2000s and the culture war stuff wasn't this like overly hateful and violent. Like the way that they're really embracing the violence and they're really encouraging the terrorism and mass shootings is a new situation. It seems like in a really serious escalation. Freeing up the definition of man or woman by recognizing bodily autonomy shreds the patriarchal social contract to pieces, and they don't want that. Yeah. I don't know. Like I was saying yesterday, there's no real like silver lining here. As we saw with the shooting in Colorado Springs, the police are not going to be help. The police fucking arrested the man that stopped the shooting, the hero that stopped the shooting, arrested this guy, and luckily he didn't get murdered outside the club by the police. The police are not going to protect these communities. The police are actually on the side of the fascists and of these freaks. So, like, you know, I don't want to lecture anyone. It's not like I'm Mr. Self-Defense myself, but like the community self-defense is the only way that these communities are going to be safe, really. It's not going to be through the police. that is going to protect these communities from this kind of violence that's being encouraged here. And yet at every Pride event, it's fucking rainbow-washed cop worship. Like, remember all the discourse about how dare you not let cops at Pride? How dare you? We want to have our police decked out in their rainbow flags and stuff like that. It's so rude to the police to not allow the police at these events, while completely ignoring the role that the police have played historically in harming and marginalizing these very groups.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Nora, thank you very much for the 4 months of Tier 1. Thank you. The humans of CIA, of course, the CIA agents with the non-binary anxiety disorder CIA folks. And on top of being another shooter that was under surveillance, absolutely. Like, this is a constant thing. Like, it's these very organizations often seem to be having contact with these mass killers. Whether it's this person, numerous other examples of this, where these people are on their radar and are still able to purchase firearms and are still able to carry out these mass killings, which that raises a lot of important questions as well. Yeah, we talked about who his grandfather is. Yeah, we did. We did talk about that. So I gotta go soon, folks. I don't know. I'm low energy. I gotta leave, I think. I wanted to stay a little bit longer, but I don't think I can do it today. I'll try to have a bit more energy next week. A few more minutes if you want to subscribe. Again, there's no streams for the rest of the week. No streams for the rest of the week. So if you do want to subscribe, there's still a possibility of doing that. We could still get to the sub goal. That still is a thing. I'm sure we could if we set our minds to it. But if not, that's okay too. They should go back to putting cocaine in it. I agree with that. I would really vote for someone that, if that was their political platform that they put forward, we're putting the cocaine back in Coca-Cola.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old
I would
Rob
absolutely
to
support
talk you
that.
through all this.
What am I looking for here? Okay, this one is good.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob.
Thank you, John,
talk
for the
you through
gifted
all
sub.
this.
I appreciate that, John McCain's Ghost. I appreciate everything you do for the community. Thank you. And thank you to Carmen Social Distancing as well for the gifted sub and all the support. I really appreciate that. You've been a bit low recently. I hope your mood will pick up soon. It's been a rough time of year. It's been a rough couple of months.
Talk you through
Absolutely.
all this.
TRRS Friendship Triangle.
Thank you, Brian C84 as well for the gifted sub. This is 10 months of Tier 1. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you
and our
through
friend
all
Bolden
this.
as well. Thank you, Bolden, for the 15 months of Tier 1. Thank you. Very kind of all of you. I really appreciate that, folks. We are just 4 subs away. We're 4 measly subs away from hitting the goal. That's really not that much. That's really close. Let me see, who else do we have here on good old twitch.tv at the moment? We got Dan. We got Left Flank Vets. We got
You can count
Midwestern
on me.
Marks.
You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Thank you, Gen X Bushy, for the gifted sub as well. Very kind of you, Gen X Bushy.
You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Maggot. Thank you for the gifted sub. Both your singles are so good. Glad to see you releasing music again. I really appreciate that, Dr. Maggot. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's scary for me to do. It is scary for me to do, but the reaction has been really positive, and I really appreciate it a lot. Folks, we're very close. We're very close to that sub goal. So one final time, if you would like to support this community and join the community, it's a wonderful community. You can do so, folks, by subscribing to this stream for $5 per month. It is some of the best emotes on this very platform, one of the best communities on this platform. It gives you access to the patented trickle-down cloud system, as well as this community of friends, which we all need right now. We all need this. We all need to have this community of friends. We're all isolated and alienated, aren't we? That's my final half-hearted pitch for subscribers. I'm a fellow musician who doesn't consider himself a musician as well. I'm willing to bet you have plenty of projects you've deemed unworthy. You'd be correct. You would be correct in assuming that. That's absolutely right.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to
look
talk
at that.
you
Relic.
through all this.
Relic, thank you very much for the 2 gifted subs. That's so kind of you. We hit the sub goal. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Should the bird app go down in foams? Relic, I really appreciate you getting us over the top there. Thank you, Relic. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I appreciate everyone for watching the stream today and for supporting the community. I appreciate it a lot. I really do. So I'll be back on Monday. Okay, I'll be back. I will try to have more of a high energy stream next week. Maybe a couple more than 2. I will try to do more than 2 streams next week. This is a pretty a low effort, low energy week for me here on this channel. We're supposed to stream every day. I don't always seem to live up to this commitment, but I'm doing my best. Spent a lot of energy on beverage. All the beverage talk really. I was kind of spent after all that. Get those knives out for Marcus. And yeah, I think we wanted to talk about that important subject. I think doing that and then being not serious, and it's hard. It's hard to know where that balance is here on twitch.tv. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. Join the Discord server. See you later.